Hi, everybody. So we're going to start talking about how you are going to structure your argumentative essay. We're going to go through this PowerPoint, and please open up the guided notes assignment. You can split the screen. So this will be on one half of the screen, and then your notes assignment, you can fill in on the other half as we go. I think that's the easiest way. And to split your screen, all you have to do is make the window smaller, and then you drag it over, and then it does the outline window, and then you choose the other window, and then it's half and half there. All right, so get that opened up, and then we are going to talk about writing your argumentative essay. So argumentative writing, you have opinions, and this is your chance to be heard, be right, and win the debate. So let's see where you stand. For these three topics, I want you to write just one sentence stating whether you agree or disagree along with one reason why. So again, this is on your guided notes. So the first one, should schools stop buying textbooks and instead spend their funds on electronic sources and educational tools? I think this, especially now that we're doing most of our learning online, is interesting. So you're going to say yes or no, and then why. Number 2, should the sale of energy drinks such as Monster and Red Bull be prohibited to people under the age of 18? Yes or no, and then why? And just pause this when you want to write. And number 3, should colleges stop using standardized tests such as the SAT and ACT as part of their admissions process? Again, yes or no, and then why? And feel free to pause this while you fill this out. So you did the hardest part, which was figuring out where you stand, what your opinion is on the topic. So now you have to prove that you're right. You can't just say, oh, I'm right. You have to give evidence as to why you're right. So to do this, you'll need 4 things. You need a claim, your reasons, your evidence, and then a counterclaim. And these are the things that will be making up your argumentative essay. So your claim is your stance on an issue. It needs to be bold. It needs to be something 2 reasonable people could have an argument about. This is also known as a thesis statement. So you're not going to say, I think that ACT scores shouldn't count against me. No, you're going to say ACT scores should not count against me. I know you think it. I know you believe it. Please don't write that in your essay. So next we have our reasons. The reasons are the main ideas or points that led you to your claim. So think of these as large areas. So the historical precedent, personal experience, ethical considerations, financial effects, and lots of other reasons you think the way you do. All right? Evidence. So facts that support your claim. Also research and reliable sources. Be sure to explain to your reader how the evidence proves your point. Don't just put a quote. You need to connect that to your claim. So, for example, we would say our claim was ACT scores should not count against me in the college admission, or should not count against students in the college admissions process because test scores can be, or people can have test anxiety and not do well in the test. So that is your reason. And then going into your evidence, you'll say 25% of people in blah, blah, blah study had test anxiety. This shows that using a ACT test does not actually show all of your skills to the college admissions counselor, if that makes sense. All right. So again, you need to connect your research to your claim with solid argumentation and voice. Next, we have our counterclaim. So the counterclaim shows that you're smart and have thought deeply about this issue by acknowledging the strongest point on your opponents that they will likely make. So you need to look at the other side of the issue. And then after that, you're going to immediately take them down with your rebuttal. All right. So these are two counterclaim approaches that work. I suggest sticking with number one. It's the most common way, and that is in the beginning of your third body paragraph. So in this approach, you save the counterclaim until you begin the third body paragraph. Open by acknowledging your opponent's strongest counterclaim to your argument. So that will be with our ACT example. Some believe that ACT scores should be used in the college admissions process because it's a standardized way to show the aptitude of each student. Okay? And then right after that, you need to prove your opponent's wrong. So although they may think that this is the best and easiest way to show equality of the aptitude among each student, tests are not comprehensive enough to give a good idea of the skills and abilities of each student, or something like that. So counterclaim and then rebuttal, prove why that counterclaim is wrong. All right. You can also do it in the first or second body paragraph, but I suggest just sticking it in the top of the third body paragraph. So again, very briefly summarize your opponent's strongest argument and then quickly squash that point with your own strong rebuttal, reason, and evidence. Okay? So very briefly, as in just one sentence or so. So this is going to be really quick. You don't want to spend a lot of time talking about your opponent's strongest points, right? More than 2 sentences of counterclaim is too much. You want to stick with trying to get your reader to be on your side. So let me know if you have any questions about this, and make sure you have finished your guided notes and get going on your essay.